Hi, I'm Terry Murphy, Senior Editor for Realty Times TV, Realty Times News, and in the men's room with Murph. And today we have a tremendously talented and big-hearted man in Anthony. You and I have known each other forever. You are the president and owner of Amalfi Estates. I'm not going to say your last name. I want you to say it for them because
Marguleas, Anthony Marguleas. It's a hard
there
one.
you go. And if you haven't heard of him, you're under a rock, okay? Because Anthony has been a powerhouse. In 2022, the Wall Street Journal ranked his company as one of the top 10 teams out of 2 million agents. So this is not your average good-hearted, hardworking. This guy is everything. But why Anthony is so admired by me and so many is his work that he has done in the Palisades area since these devastating fires. And I know that you are posting regularly, and you've gone from like 100 views to like a million because people are interested in the progress. But what's interesting about this fire is that even though it's out of the mainstream media, you are covering it 3 times a week with video showing the progress and, can I say, the attention to how they're processing some of the materials right there in California. Tell us what's going on in the Palisades.
So there's a lot of, thank you, Terry. I really appreciate being on your show and you're providing such a great service to everyone. And I've known you a long time, so it's great to see you again. So the Palisades, approximately 100 days ago, we had a horrible fire. Approximately 6,000 homes were lost. Also, a big fire, the Eaton fire in Altadena as well, lost a lot of homes. So Los Angeles is trying to recover right now. We're going through the rebuilding process. It's currently the fastest rebuild in the history of the United States. They did the phase one EPA, which is Environmental Protection Agency. That was done phase one in about 28 days. It was supposed to be 90 days. Phase two is debris removal, where they take the debris off the lot. That was supposed to be 18 months. They're predicting it'll be done in approximately 4 months. So they're putting a lot of resources there. They are doing whatever they can to get the community rebuilt safely. The exciting news last week, we had 2 houses start the construction already 100 days after the fire. They expect to be finished in the next 6 months. So we're making really good progress. We're spreading some really positive news, and people are excited about the rebuild.
Well, tell us a little bit about your video reporting, which is happening 3 times a week. It's getting a quite a response on Instagram. Tell us the account so everybody can go and check it.
Yeah, so we were excited. I don't want to say there was I don't know how it happens. It's kind of part of its luck. But we did a great video that was posted yesterday morning. As of this morning, it's at 120,000 views, a lot of comments. And basically, we were going through, we had a great drone footage of showing what they do when they take the raw concrete from the foundations and they have a conveyor belt and they smash it down to recycle that concrete. They take the rebar out of the concrete and they recycle the rebar. What's fascinating is they're doing it actually in the Palisades. They're not shipping it, 100 miles away or 1,000 miles away. They have actually set up, they closed down one of the main thoroughfares called Temescal Canyon. There's 3 thoroughfares into the Palisades. There's Chautauqua, Sunset Boulevard. People have heard of Sunset Boulevard, and then Temescal Canyon. They closed Temescal Canyon for this concrete steel recycling. And so I did a little 2-minute video showing people how it's being done, and it got a little popular and blew up like crazy yesterday. So
Well, your own home was devastated. You and your family. So
yeah.
you know, and here's the thing: it's out of the main news every day. But if you look at the fires that happened even 6 years ago, I mean, it's not the same. And yet you've got this amazing process of informing the rest of us what's going on. And you talk about the debris removal in your newsletter. You have a real estate market update, which uh, it's been only 3 months. It's only been 90 days since that happened. And you're talking about burned lots and land purchases and how many properties are available or not available. Uh, Tell us a little bit about what's happening in the market, because obviously as agents or as sellers, you can't, or buyers, you can't make the transaction if the house isn't civil engineers have been through and all of that stuff. Tell us what challenges you're seeing as a real estate professional there.
Yeah. So, and thank you for acknowledging our own home. So my wife and I lost our own home. We'd been there for 23 years. Um,
Sorry.
350 of my clients lost their homes as well. So it was, it's one thing to lose your home, Terry, but when you lose your home and your kids' school and their church or temple, and then all their friends lose their homes, it's a collective mourning. And until you experience something like that, it's like nothing, you can't even explain it. It's a very, very challenging thing to articulate properly. But we're staying positive. We're excited for the rebuild. To answer your question, people ask me all the time, what's going on in the real estate market and what do you predict? And my response is, well, let me check last time there was a fire that destroyed 7,000 homes. You know, because
Yeah,
no one has a playbook for this. This is a very
unprecedented. Yeah.
unprecedented. What we are seeing, which is fascinating. So normally in the Palisades in one year, we'd see four lots would come on the market in a year, and maybe 10 or 15 teardowns. Now we're seeing that on a daily basis. So we're seeing four lots per day come on the market. There are currently 200 burned down lots on the market. There's 110 that are coming on per month. We're expecting somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 lots to be coming on the market, which is going to obviously soften real estate prices for not just land, but for the homes that are standing. So it's a very unprecedented. The good news, we expect in about 3 to 4 years, when a majority of the Palisades is rebuilt, which it will be, not all of it, but a majority, property values will go back up and even higher than they were before because we're going to have a new playground. They're putting $1 million playground. I don't know how you can put $1 million playground in. I don't know what it's made of, but they're doing a new rec center and a new park and new
That's it.
buildings. So
In real estate, we know, I mean, these houses will be new or what,
yeah,
but the people that are selling these lots, where are they going? I mean, they've got it. I mean, if the lots are available,
yeah.
they're choosing not to rebuild.
It's a good question. The big issue is that a lot of people are underinsured, Terry. So I know Florida's got a lot of insurance issues. People have talked about that a lot. California, obviously, a lot of people are underinsured because they either are underinsured, don't have enough insurance, or didn't have any insurance. A few people, and it's so expensive to rebuild. Before the fires, it was about $650 per square foot to build. After the fires, we're getting quotes between $850 and $1,000 a foot. And so these insurance companies have capped a lot of the insurance. And so if a majority of these people do not have the funds to rebuild their house, and so we're predicting about 25, maybe 30% of the Palisades unfortunately won't rebuild. And the real loss is that the Palisades has a large middle class. There's a lot of retirees. People think of it as this wealthy community of just, millionaires and billionaires. And the reality is, everyone who bought in the Palisades 30 and 40 years ago and bought a property for 20 or $30,000, where the dirt now happens to be worth $3 million, they're retirees, they're teachers, they're nurses, and they can't afford to rebuild. And 25% of the Palisades, based on the recent U.S. Census, is over 65 years old. And they're not going to, if you're in your 70s or 80s, you may not have the bandwidth to want to go through that rebuilding process. So
That
we're going
is,
to lose a lot of the special fabric of the Palisades. It was basically like a Midwestern town in Los Angeles. People call it like a large college campus where you walk through and everyone knows your name and you say hi to people. And it was just a very, very special, still is a very, very special place.
it change is so difficult, but there's always something better that comes out of it. And one of them has been the collaboration of people getting together to support each other. I mean, you talked about losing the schools, and I mean, losing where you go to the drugstore, where you got your hair done, where your doctor used to be. I mean, it's pervasive. But you've been part of a sponsorship for something called Rooted in Resilience. And as we close this out, tell us, I know it's coming up, it's April 19th. It's going to be at Clove Park.
Clover Park, yeah, in
Clover
Santa
Park.
Monica. So I started a group with a couple other people called One Pally, and it's basically a community organization, grassroots, to get people together to share stories and to support each other in our community because we really needed it and we still need it. And so we're putting on a great event this Saturday. We expect 1,000 people. The mayor will be there. City council will be there. Palisades has honorary mayors, which is kind of exciting. We have some really exciting honorary mayors will be there. We have food trucks and we have, it'll be a really, really fun event. And it's one of the first times we can see everyone in person because everyone is spread out. You know, when 25,000 people become homeless overnight, and that represents 10,000 households, everyone is spread out all over LA. And so imagine if you had your closest friends and your kids had their friends, and now they all live an hour apart. Or maybe they moved out of state, or maybe they moved.
Well, here's the thing, Anthony. You've always been the biggest heart. I mean, you have, and I know that you've done work for different charities. You've contributed more money than charities than most people could do as a country. So, as this progresses, tell us a little bit about what you see as visionary before we close here with what can happen in, say, the next 60 days, because you are so on it. First of all, tell us, it's Amalfi Estates on Instagram to
Yeah,
pick
it's
up.
Amalfi, Amal, like the Amalfi Coast in Italy, Amalfi Estates on Instagram. That's where we post a lot of our videos. We have a great one coming up next week on the Getty Villa and how they survived the fire and the fire hardening that they did. So that'll be a really exciting one. But it's just my way to communicate and to have a nice historical documentation of what happened and how we got out of this horrible situation and all the people that came together and it's really of hope, Terry, and that's the purpose of
And
this.
that's the whole thing, we talk about how the silos of people have happened because of technology, but and it's unfortunate that it takes something this colossal, I'll use, to bring people together. But at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. You can have, like these people had these beautiful homes, and it's all reduced to rubble. But what we still have is the energy and the communication and collaboration of people helping people, and that's what you have done. A couple of the charities that you've been able to support over the years, if I recall, you were doing one for education. Was I right?
Yeah, so we have 6 categories. We give 10% of our commission to charity. We let our clients pick from one of those 6 charities. We have Make-A-Wish for kids. We have Heal the Bay for the environment. We have Wags and Walks for the dogs, pet charity. We have American Cancer Society for health. We have the People Concerned for homelessness. We have Homeboy Industries is our local one. Hope I didn't forget one, but was that 6? I
There's
did
more than six.
Make-A-Wish for
Make a
kids.
wish.
Make-A-Wish for kids. And we've been fortunate in just 7 years. We've helped 120,000 families and pets just from our charitable initiative. And our team of 7 agents has given $2.5 million to charity. So we've been very, very fortunate to have the ability to be able to do that.
Well, we are blessed to have someone with your caliber, your vision, and your leadership in our industry, let alone in the Palisades where you're so needed. And apparently that's where the divine wanted you to be. I just want everybody to help support you. So go to the Instagram account, sign on, get the updates, share it, because we don't want to forget that these people are trying to live life one step at a time. And Anthony, thank you so much. I really like the fact that you mentioned you don't have, 200 agents. There's 7 people doing all of this work, which means you, if you're listening or watching this, you can do something too. I'm Terri Murphy for Realty Times News TV. Thank you so much for joining us, Anthony, and please give us an update in the next couple of weeks so that we can continue to support the advancement of what you're doing there.
I will. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate it.